Sweet.
Yeah, no, that's dope. Appreciate that.
We gotta turn our volumes down on something.
That's me.
It possibly is.
What's up? What's up, good people? Chocolate Crown checking in. Is that better?
It is much better.
Um, what's up, good people? Chocolate Crown checking in. Episode 18. 18, 18, 18. What's up, Instagram? Hope you're having a blessed day. Wherever part of the country you're in, I hope you're being safe. Um, and I hope you're blessed. How are you, Miss Mary May Butterfly Love?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been, while the rest of the world is having family time and connecting and doing what it is that they do this time of the year with harvest and however it is they identify with this week. Um, I'm well. I went out and worked out this today, and my body is letting me know that okay. What you doing? How you doing? What we doing? I'm good.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. It's good you got out there, and
I needed some sunshine
well, I hope you were away from people so that you could take the mask off. That's what I was hoping.
at
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
that's people
it was a
need.
lot of people out there. I guess more than just me needed some sunshine.
Yeah, people are. When you are a melanated being, that's your best friend.
Right.
Is the sun. So, again, just stay safe, man. Uh, I know you got to go in places, and we got to still maneuver. And I think this time around, as they go into closing things down or putting us on a punishment again, I think people will have a better plan this time around of how to deal with it. Hopefully, um, that's the case. Uh, so we will see. Ned White, hello, hello. How are you, Ned?
Yes. What's up, Net? She went to the
Um,
grocery store for an apron and came out with like a whole shopping cart full of baking goods to make
okay,
lovely desserts.
okay. But
That's
by
what her
now,
Facebook told the world, is that she was going to be in there baking up some lovely, delicious baked goods.
well, I know the people in her home very happy.
Yes.
But that sounds like a woman going to get an apron and come out with half the store. You know what I'm saying? So you
I know that type all too well.
that's dope though. She said doing good and cooking. That's what's up. Stay blessed, Queen. That's what's up. So yeah, we are on episode 18, and it's Sunday after what a lot of people celebrated this holiday. It's probably a lot different for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Not being able to probably physically touch everybody that you're normally used to touching. But hopefully you got to suck up some of your people's good energy
Right.
and vibes and that kind of thing. That kind of energy and that kind of talk is what we're actually going to get into this evening down the road. But we're going to do our introductions and that kind of thing and do some shout outs and hopefully bring you an interesting conversation on this Sunday evening.
And when we get to what our conversation is, it do come from one of our consistent viewers. So if you have a topic that is burning and of interest to you, feel free to share it, and we'll review it and bring it to the conversation in the living room of the family and see what we get.
I mean, that's big. That's how we supposed to do things. I mean, I know 2020's been weird and you've been getting used to doing things on your own by yourself
Mhm. Right.
without your people, but that's really how we really move ahead and grow as people. We got to come to each other and
Mm-hmm.
find out these answers, man. We can't run to perceived outsiders anymore for answers to move us forward because we've been on this hamster wheel too long. Um, I'm I'm a certain age, and ever since I was a young boy, it's been the same topic, same talk, same everything over and over and over. And this hamster wheel, we got to jump up off of it because it's too much at stake. And
Mm-hmm.
so we just gonna try to move and push forward and come together. And you um, when we have the circle, we become whole. We can't do it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Mama Joe? Glad you checking in. Appreciate you. But yeah, we can't do it any other way. We gotta come together as a whole. So when you have answers to some of these questions, we need you
Mm-hmm.
to enter in the conversation and give your point of view,
Mm-hmm.
give your story, give your journey, um, because the journey is what make us pop bottles at the end. Make us win championships at the end when you go through that journey. So we all on this journey together. So everybody has something to contribute to what we got going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what's on the minds of the current events of what we have going on?
First, I'm gonna do it a little early. I'm gonna do my little stand up. I'm gonna shout out my brother's black business,
Right?
Almer, always living my everlasting reality. Almer. By the end of the show, I hope he checks in on IG.
Correct.
The real producer. Go check that out. The real producer on IG. But it's always living my everlasting reality. So it's a play off his last name, him and his partner. He's a very creative brother. He's actually going to help me revamp the Infinite Mind and Body logo. But yeah, he got the one of one, always living my everlasting reality. Um, Hopefully he checks in so we could get him to post his full info and we could get it all correct. But just another young brother out here, you know, taking back and creating his own space.
Mm-hmm.
As melanated people, I think that's huge. I know them. It's very empowering when you own your own and you create your own. Nobody can tell you what to do and how to do it. Uh, so yeah, just check it out. Almer, always living my everlasting reality.
That statement is large too, like always living my everlasting reality, especially since we talked about realities last week and probably a couple other times throughout our 18 episodes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's based off of his last name as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm big on connections and that kind of thing. So it's pretty big. But yeah, we're dealing with coming off of the holidays. I don't really like giving um, these rituals names anymore,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because a lot of us, hopefully, are taking back what was taken from us. But
Mm-hmm.
it also is a time where we build as family, and so a lot of us miss that time. So it's big to stay connected. And I know in my own personal life, there's some things that's going to be changing, and going back to how it was for certain people in my in my life, and they'll be pretty happy about that. But that's just personal. But for everybody else out here, man, let's just make sure they trying to make us social distance and all that, but we coming together and still connecting. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I know I wear the hat. Shout out to my Steelers. Our game was postponed this week because of the birds. Those purple dead birds start catching COVID. I mean, it's
C
real out
virus,
there.
C virus, C virus.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, C virus. C
Yeah, I
virus.
forgot. Yeah, and
Right.
Fletch. I'm not good with algorithms and all that, man. I say the wrong words sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I say the wrong words, but it's not on purpose. What's up, brother Swan? But shout out to my Steelers, and hopefully, they. It's sad because we're supposed to be in a pandemic and they still playing football. As much as I
Mhm.
love football, that's how much they really care about the people. It's all about that bread, even under
Right.
pandemic times. Um,
See?
even
So
under
you get the
pandemic
Joe
time.
Money ready.
Yeah, and I didn't even say anything yet, but
Keyword is yet.
um, so we under some strange times, and everybody's dealing with some strange things in their lives. You can't go around certain people, that kind of thing. Um, so we got to keep it in perspective when things do get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
What's important, man? What's important. So I just want to shout out my Steelers, shout out the Ravens. Hopefully everybody stays safe. More than
Right.
anything, my young guys at the State University of New Jersey, better known as Rutgers University, the greatest PWI in the country.
Oh my goodness.
Great win this weekend. I mean, to other people, being 2-4 don't mean nothing. But it's the journey. Where we were at last year, if you were a fan, you wouldn't believe we'd be here today. So it's a microcosm of life. We all want to achieve better. We want to do better. And sometimes with the right leadership, with the right coaches, with the right mindset, I mean, good things can happen. I mean, he was one of the first people, and shout out to Coach Greg Schiano, head coach at Rutgers University. He was one of the first people who got me to understand how much football and life were connected. And it kind of leads me into our conversation about soul ties.
But before you do that, I just want to give a shout out to Queen Evelyn who popped in on the IG, giving her a shout out.
What's up, Queen? What's up, Queen? But he was one of the first people that got me to realize how overlapping football was with life. And so when I speak of the journey and I use words like that, it's because of Greg Schiano and some of the things he taught me in probably a year time that I had him, as a football coach. I mean, those 12 months, and we're going to go into soul ties and how we are connected with people, and do they last long? Are they short? And I know for me, and it's going to sound weird because I'm going to go in different ways, different direction than a lot of people would think. But I was tied to football. Like my every waking thought, everything, it dictated everything that was going on in my life. So when we talk soul ties, and we had a common goal. I was the player, he's the coach, but we want to succeed, and we want to, win games, and we want to get better each and every day. And that was the journey. So on our journey, we became tied in together. And so I'm going to speak, I guess, from a person who may agree with soul ties and a person who may say I disagree and don't think there's a such thing as soul ties, because I think just like with everything, it's a reason for the season. You know what I'm saying? It's like particular times things can also happen. I know when soul ties, and a lot of people may go into just human soul ties and having soul ties with relationships, and because of sex you have soul ties, but to me, you can be soul tied to anything. So
Mm,
therefore, um, this is, and I know a lot, I've had this conversation with a lot of religious people, and it's even bigger than that.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's even bigger than that. You
And
know.
even to set the tone of how the person who is a dedicated, follower of our conversations and dedicated follower of both of the conversations that I have, both on Friday with the Relationship Flow Sip and Chat, as well as our conversation here with Chocolate Crown. And when she sent, or when they sent the conversation in, they were like, it doesn't matter which platform it is that you choose to utilize it. I'm just interested in having that real talk conversation. When I listened to the 17-minute video, it went in so many different so many different aspects that when peeling back the layers, it's easy that this conversation can be received in a lot of different ways. It can be heard in a lot of different ways, and that you can be sensitive because how you have been programmed and downloaded in regards to what it is that you know about this conversation or the words soul ties can be very different. So I just ask you if you continue to hear us directly in this conversation or even on the replay, that you just listen with an open mind and a sensitive that, things have evolved and that everybody receives this information from different perspectives, because even in how I shared the video for us to have this conversation tonight, in preparing, we didn't talk about football, but we always talk about the fact that what you are committed to is a relationship. So if that's committed to your exercise, if that's committed to your significant other, if that's committed to your legacy and family, whatever it is that you're committed to, it's a relationship because you put focus into that. But then also things that are taken from you, be it that you've given consent or not, is also a relationship as well that could have an effect and an impact on you as well. So I just, as a blanket consent disclaimer, stretch hand love, before we even dig deep dive into this, I just say be open. It's energy. It's conversation for us as kings and queens as we move forward, into this space.
Listen,
I know that's my version.
yeah, you gotta be politically correct, man. Yes, I know. This is the constructive criticism class. I gotta take it. Everybody gotta take it. I'm not perfect at all. But for us to move forward, it's gotta be difficult. We in the mud right now, and this ain't no easy. No, it's not easy to move when your whole lower body is trapped in quicksand. We trying to move forward. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get off the hamster wheel. So, like my brother Justice Cipher said, it's energy. And I want you to explain it too, my brother, if you still tapped in, please. Because you did it. You did it how, see, the whole circle is what I mean. See, you did it from the woman, the nurturing. You did it nice.
I did it therapeutically.
But listen, and now they need, some of the brothers out there need cousin Fletch to give it to them in a different way. Bust you upside your head with it.
Some of the women might need that too, but
I can't bust the women upside the head. I ain't going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
And so how we enter into your living room and into your mind space, that it comes with love. However it is that you need to digest it, just know that we come with love.
Listen, that's what I've learned about. And I'll apologize. No, I'm not going to apologize because it was my life. It was what y'all going to say was my soul tie. It was my dependency. It was my addiction. Because when we go look up soul and ties and we bring it all together, it was my attachment. It was everything. But when you, it's so many ways to make it relatable. There's so many different ways to coach because there's different ways that people receive the information. You know what I'm saying? Some people like it raw. You know what I'm saying? Some people want it well done. Some people want it medium rare. Everybody's not the same. Some people like barbecue. You know what I'm saying? Some people want it pan seared. And we just trying to give it in all of those ways. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. Like, and sometimes it's not going to be easy. We in a day and time where everything gotta be just we pacifying everything.
Right.
No, even the women back in the day were harder than the boys that's coming out nowadays. Like
True
tough,
that.
tough,
True that.
very tough. But was like shout out to Dick Gregory, tough on the outside, soft in the middle, like a turtle. Got the shell on, like the shell on. And now everybody's shell is removed. So everybody's just soft and mushy. You know what I'm saying? And we can't do that anymore because that's getting us nowhere. That no having that, that kind of thinking and that kind of thought when we don't want to, do the rough thing and the tough thing and the hard thing, I think we kind of stay in the same spot. So yeah, when we talking soul ties, we talking your energy, we talking um, your connection, your attachment. And with everything, there's a duality. You have good and bad with that. First thing some people will say, and I was doing a lot of research and listened to a lot of people speak on it, and everybody's take on it that it was bad. So I went and found the first positive thing. I was like, that's my soul tie.
Hmm.
Football was everything. So my soul tie was different because they're putting their soul tie in other humanity, in other human beings, and saying, I'm tied to this person and really not even tied to their own self. You know what I'm saying? Attaching themselves or had someone be attached to them, um, whether good or bad. Like I said, when we have this conversation, we're gonna talk about it from a dual standpoint. Some of it's gonna be good, some of it's gonna be bad. But we can't all just say, well, the women all or the men all, or it's just all one way. It can't be
No,
that way.
each person plays a part of the journey, like, and it's a step-by-step process, and every moment by moment, as if you look at a clock having the seconds and the minutes all adding up for the moments of time, like every moment plays a part and
Mhm.
has, incremental steps in making the moment a whole situation. So it's not that if you don't have the minutes before, you can't, have the other part, add up. So, Queen Ebb is saying, being vulnerable is hard. Absolutely. And people don't like that vulnerability because then they don't have the control. And as long as they don't have control or able to know and manage and manipulate what that outcome is, not knowing the outcome while they're in the journey is when it's like, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna just sabotage the whole thing, or I'm gonna just throw all these cards up and the game is over. I'm about to flip this table over because I can't figure out how I can make the outcome be what I need it to be versus learning from all of the bruises along the way. Because the bruises tell a story. Whether it feels good or not, the things that don't feel good teach you something.
I mean, you 100%. A lot of it, I also believe, is people love the, and we might have said this a few shows ago, is it's always somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
The victim. I'm the victim. It's me. Instead of doing what you said, taking every situation as a learning point. Because I could guarantee you weren't perfect, but you minimized what you did and put all the weight on what somebody else did.
Right.
Um, and it seems like that's what a human does. We humans, we could always point.
Right. Right.
Now I need to control it. But if we don't control somebody, I know We'll continue to keep looking outside of ourselves. We'll continue to keep pointing the finger, and you'll never say I'm soul tied with somebody, but this is why, this is the part I play. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be, well, they did this or they did that or they or them, or it's never looking in the mirror and saying in a relationship, you know what? This is what happened. I learned from it. This is what I can and can't, and I move on.
Right.
And a lot of that I correlate back to sports, because you don't win a championship on day one.
You don't.
You can't manipulate that. You know what I'm saying? But we live in a culture now and in a generation, especially now, where we could see the end result.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we want to manipulate, shorten up the journey. I always tell people, I use the food industry. Like chickens have a certain amount of time, 92 weeks or however long, I think that's what it is, that they're supposed to, until they're fully developed. Now it's down to 30 something weeks.
Mm.
And then the legs are smaller. and but the wings and the breast are huge. So you're looking for a certain outcome, like you cut off your legs. So to
Right.
look good in the IG post, you know what I'm saying? I just work on my up top. I ain't doing no squatting.
I need to
You
go to
know?
the gym.
Yeah, we're working on, like the meaningless stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like we said, and we're gonna beat that point today, is the journey is what it's about. And um I know there's always the good and the bad from it, but it's always growth. You always can grow from either one. You know what it is you can, and you know the things you can and the things you can't do. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. And then at some point you have to claim that. You have to hold on to that, and you can't say, as a 60-year-old woman, all men ain't this. Oh, as a 60-year-old man, I can't, all women ain't. Nah, we got to look in the mirror. At some point, there's somewhere where this person, that because you got in your head for whatever reason, I want them, I like them, I'm attached to them, I need them. But you're
Mm-hmm.
not looking for those red flags. You stepping right over them.
Mm-hmm.
They got this end result made up just how you want it. They know just what you like. So we have to be very, very careful, because I know we're intelligent people, and our chocolate crown kings and queens are very intelligent. So we call it soul ties. People manipulate it, codependencies, things like that. Certain things you're addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
Is it controlling you? Is it not? Are you able to deal with it, handle it, learn from it? Or are you going to play victim and say it's always this other thing? Now, there's ways. Now we can get into soul ties where some creep rapes you. You know what I'm saying? And you have that tie for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ways you deal with it. But that part of you, I believe, probably could be there for you or with you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never diminish that or say to somebody, why is that? Somebody took something from you which you guard as, have on a pedestal.
Absolutely.
Is your body and your will to say yes or no. And somebody crosses that threshold. That's not playing victim. And you can be tied to somebody like that.
And as long as you don't have the space that people say is brave space or a safe space to talk about that violation that you have experienced and what has happened to you, and what you have identified, be it in a spiritual nature or in your living room with your parents, of a space that you could talk about things, that these things didn't happen to you, or you've been silent on even talking about what your experience has been, then it's like, okay, well, maybe these things didn't happen to me. And maybe the reason or the ways in which I'm replacing what has happened to me, or I'm coping with what has happened to me, is a better way to manage it. And I'm not really playing victim to it, but it's what it is. It's what I've learned to do to kind of like manage it and not be defeated by it. But I'm still tied to it because I haven't really been able to heal or understand how it's interrupting the way I think about interacting with others, the way I develop relationships, or the way I'm able to establish relationships, because now my narrative, or how it is that I establish new situations with people who represent that violation that was taken from me, now has a different face to it. Because at some point, I'm thinking that that individual is going to do the same violation in the same exact way that was taken from me from someone at one point that I trusted. Because these violations don't happen from strangers.
Right. That listen, you hitting home runs, man. You hitting home runs. The game you giving, like it's powerful. Um,
And we get in our own way.
yes, we do. A lot of us. A lot of us are telling ourselves we're not our biggest cheerleader. We're not our biggest fan. Um,
So one of the comments is, as a 61-year-old woman, I can honestly say that I've learned something from every relationship that I've been in. And if a woman, all men, and as a woman, all men aren't crap, what does that say about them?
I mean, you're a human, and sometimes we think we have more power than we actually do. You, women think they're nurturers and that kind of thing, and healers, and we can fix things. And men, we want to control things and make things go our way. Like, these are human nature things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't gloss over that. Those are red flags. Those are humanity's red flags.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all are nurturers, y'all are healers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're controlling. That's what it is. So it's not, it's about really understanding you, knowing how to heal yourself when you're hurt, knowing outlets that you may have that you can go to, so you not repeating the same kind of behavior and expecting a different result. Because now you can see it all dressed up on social media, what you really want, what you've been looking for since a little kid, what you've been telling yourself about this fairy tale. So you lied to yourself along the way. You haven't been the biggest cheerleader and fact finder and checker. We talked about, vetting people back in the day. The IG page.
Tiffany, if you're here on the if you're here in the comments, though, you're here through Facebook.
Yeah, you gotta be. I don't know, something like
is Relationship Flow or Chocolate Crown.
See, we on the outside looking in. We don't know what's going on. Listen, I could have said something again, and her algorithms went off, man. So you know what I'm saying? But
without walking in the nature today, though, so I don't know.
It's funny because, man, I use music a lot because I know the power of music. And we had a generation of women who took the victim ride with Mary J. Blige from the time she was out until she probably got something out right now in 2020. But I hope it's something happy. I hope it is, because she has made millions of dollars on being sad and playing on the vulnerabilities of other women. Like, I hope, listen, I am a big proponent of getting your money, get it. But that same cycle is what I'm talking about. That same roller coaster. My mom used to play the body the what was the that was the most broken heart scorned woman song. What was the movie where Angela Bassett burned the house down, chopped off her hair? And Mary J sang the song. Anybody out there who remembers that song, please put it in the comments. But
for anybody who may miss an episode or need to catch us on a replay, I do have it running across the bottom of the screen for those on Facebook or YouTube. Our IG is Chocolate Crown with the 8 in the middle, or Relationship Flow, as well as YouTube channel is Butterfly Love LLC.
Waiting to exhale. I couldn't get it out. Thanks, Courtney Jane. It would take a PWI member. You know everything, man.
That's because y'all didn't have no entertainment. Y'all needed to find something.
I ain't gonna
y'all
say
didn't have
that.
a quad or a cookout like we did at the HBCU.
A quad, that was just on one of the campus after PWI. You got to remember where I went.
Anyway,
Livingston was bigger than
this is not the HBCU PWI battle show.
We're gonna have one. Yes, it's always a battle with the HBCUs, man. Shout out to my family at the HBCU.
I'm gonna bring the people. But you know I'm just saying.
We know everything at the PWI. We know white folk business and black folk business, man. but yeah, sis, listen, that's Nene Fletcher. That's my younger sister. Very intelligent young lady. Go check her out, man.
So she's saying that she thinks that. I'm sorry. Did you want to address her comment?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. If you're gonna read it, go ahead.
I was trying to read like it's so much. Soul ties to exist when you've given up a part of yourself to someone and you never took the power back from that. So soul ties shouldn't last forever, as eventually you should be able to find that part of yourself again and harness that power.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'll say this. It's a little bit different to me. This is just Cousin Fletch for women, especially if we talking physically, because it's different when you taking people into your body than as if
in the absence of consent and with consent.
Yeah, either one, and it's worse without consent. You know what I'm saying? But either one, when these dead souls is bouncing on you, and these dead souls releasing you. And just because Lil Rah had nice hair, or he had muscles,
right?
But he released off in you, and then 3 months later it's somebody else, and then 3 months later it's somebody else. We got to really remember and realize what we're doing to our bodies. Like if we filling ourselves up with all these empty souls and all these people with dead energy and dead spirits. You got to understand what you're doing to yourself. And like I said, it goes both ways. I'm not going to say it for the fellas out here that it can't happen to us. But when everything for us is external, like Queen Camp saying, when it's external, it's a little easier to detach from.
Exactly.
I ain't going to say a little easier. It's a lot easier to detach from. Because that's why you see
is different, the bruise is different, how you react and respond to it is different, how you heal from it is different. But when it has inserted into your energy, that was said earlier, and how it is framed in your lifestyle, because if there is a spiritual nature connected to the shame, the guilt, the trauma, whatever wording that you have to connect to it to understand what you have experienced, then how you have permission on talking about it is way different.
Yeah, I mean it's real because, and I'll go from my fella's point of view. If I'm with a woman and she has now, I've crossed that threshold and she said yes to whatever we doing and we get physical. but now she's got all these other dead dudes inside of her. What I'm gonna do, man? It's a struggle for me. You know
You
what I'm
gotta
saying?
go through the dead bodies.
My
You gotta
boys
go
is
through the
that.
journey of the process
Yeah,
of the dead bodies,
this journey is
which may be an
brutal.
argument, may
But
be
see, this is where women ain't taking no accountability. You love this one, but because of your track record of having all this garbage filled all throughout you, it's all seeped in your bones and everything.
mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the next person has to deal with. They have to. So, for instance, if you open your refrigerator and it's already full, but you go and keep getting more groceries and keep filling it up on top of each, that's what it's looking like. You ain't never cleaned up. You never released the bad. You never let that go. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm stacked on top of 22 dudes before me. All right, not all of them, but it's a fight to get through here. It's hard to reach who you really are, is what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to.
That's when the representative comes in. So that's when the representative comes in until you are trying to establish a new relationship and you get to a certain part of the journey and you're not really sure why you can't get past this certain part of the journey. But the reason you can't get past this certain part of the journey, and if you have to label it, you can label it as trauma, you can label it as a soul tie, you could label it as anxiety. It's a whole bunch of names you could label it with the Western belief systems of whatever. But however it is that you need to understand it, you haven't dealt with it. You just put it up on the shelf and it's collecting dust. And because you haven't dealt with it, it's going to keep coming to the surface. And you're the common denominator in the mirror that you keep turning the mirror or covering the mirror up with the sheet and walking by and thinking that, okay, well, in the next relationship is going to be better. Well, what has changed with the common denominator that's going to make it better if you didn't do the work?
No, it's easy. I got the sheet, so you just put it up over the mirror. That's what most people do, or dig the dirt and cover it up, or just push all the
Or the
bad
suitcase is
groceries.
so darn heavy, you can't even get it up the steps up the runway when the airport opens back up and you trying to get a passport stamp to go and leave your trash in the ocean over and over again with being Stella.
Yeah, people are hoarders, man, and not just with actual physical stuff.
Right.
People hoard
It's
these
emotional
relationships.
hoarding.
Yeah, like I think pride and ego is a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I see Camp put up. She think it's easier now to walk away or act as a man. She had to work on that. I mean, I understand that because no man wants to feel like he's dealing with another man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that is an awful feeling as a man. That
Right.
you sitting here looking at this person and they look like a woman, but everything that's coming out their mouth and their demeanor and the way they move, it's in a manly fashion. Well, most of us, I could, if I went into a lot of these sisters' homes, I mean, I would love to inform you, but just not by the way y'all took Steve Harvey to inform y'all. To act like a man and think, or act like a woman and think like a man. No, that is the wrong thing to do. You act like a woman and you think like a woman. And I'm gonna act like a man and think like a man with you in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like with you in mind. Part of
That's
this
not
soul
sending the
tie,
representative with the wig on
right? Part of your
and with
soul tie,
the false fairy tale lifestyle.
right? Yeah, you're very right. I was like that before Steve Harvey. That's funny. But you said you was raised by a man as well. So I could see a father putting certain things into a young lady based on the way the world is going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wrote that down. You could be soul tied to something or someone based on societal issues and society standards and where you're at economically and all kind of things. Yes, yeah. Listen, and the brothers are thanking you. Your husband is like, yes, I'm married to a woman. She's taught by her mother. Uh, a lot of us come from homes where mom plays both roles. You know what I'm saying? So you don't get that real outside uh, uh, info as a man from a real man unless you're around other real men. You'll get an emotional response from a woman put into a man.
Right. One of
You
the
know,
comments I just got was someone that had to leave, but they wanted to share that like the self-exposure with Mary J was that when you're exposed, you have to look at yourself and the music being used as an outlet, like even Jill Scott's pieces of a man being heavy and personal, those messages went back into like, the swing era of Billie Holiday um would sing about being abused and it sounded so romantic. However, it wasn't necessarily that it was always romantic. It was like their true stories of what they were experiencing, and we begin to romanticize abuse, or we begin to romanticize like our pain. And like some people would even say they like abused Mary, they like drug addicted Mary, they like when she was sad, but when she became happy they didn't want to go run out and buy her albums anymore. And I'm like, okay, so there's no healing in this journey.
no, people want you to suffer. They don't want you to suffer. Boy, they say they're your fans and they ain't happy for you. We like
Right.
you when you're going through it.
But,
Awful.
but
And
that's
we
like what Queen Camp is saying. Like you gotta be manipulating the whole process. So you manipulating both sides of the story so that you can have a win. Like you trying to win out of this fairy tale of life, and you got to put a label to it so that people can say, oh, well, if it's a label, then within the label people will follow me, because if I put soul ties to it, or if I put depression to it, or if I put anxiety to it, then it's marketable and I could put a dollar sign next to it and they will come. But it's like, where is the healing properties in any of this? And I
well,
know that I speak from a place of, okay, let me give you some resolution and you can get better, because it's only going to peel back that layers of the onion that you're going to learn something else that you need support with. But like, we gotta get better as kings and queens.
I listen. And I understand what Cam said. You know, she was a fan. You
I'm
love
still a
her
fan
journey.
of Mary
No,
J.
you
Blige.
can't. Listen, she has to embrace her journey. We can't love her journey. She was getting bust upside the head and for us to see it along the journey. Like that, I mean, that's just me. Don't go hard at Uncle Cousin Fletch. You know, that's just me. I don't
Subscribe.
the fact that somebody else is dictating what that sister had to continue to keep putting out. If she put out happy music, no, it wasn't going to get played. She was told this is what you have to give to the people, the sad, scorned black woman playing victim. That's what we want. That's what we want. Listen, I didn't say you couldn't learn, but I could play one album and it could be played right now and you could have learned the same thing. She repeated the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Like that's what they do with our music. We get the same, like you said, Billie Holiday. We glamorize being a victim.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't glamorizing the stand up person. We glamorizing just all the wrong stuff. I wanted to take this left, but I'm trying to keep it sort of without
Why?
going 100% into the actual book. I'm trying not to go in here because I don't want to lose fans and followers, because in that book we condone some certain things and we just pass over it. But that's
But
still the
that's
book
what
we
the video that
follow.
was sent to us is condoning and co-signing certain things. That how can you be aware that these things are occurring, yet you don't know when someone's being sexually assaulted, and you like saying, oh yeah, well, we know that this person is a teenager, but it's okay, just.
So, and then that becomes where you're tied to something because it don't have to be sexual.
Mm-hmm.
It can be Give it ties also. When you look up the word ties, it's a constraint. When somebody tie, they put a tie on. There's a reason why, because they
Mm-hmm.
used to hang you like a noose. So you're
Mm-hmm.
put in constraints with this. You
Mm-hmm.
trying to tell me this is the work of the creator, and this book is
But it don't even have all of the books that
seven,
it's supposed to
but
have and
it,
all of the words that it's
it
supposed to
has
have.
it
And
has
it's a control
700.
mechanism.
Right, we
It's
can't saying it, yeah. But you can't tell me that the creator is putting the book, and that's what I'm supposed to follow, because there's stories in there that don't match up with what I am. So I'm
mm-hmm.
off that boat. Ain't nobody perfect, but you telling me this was perfection. You telling me this was perfection, and we condoning rape, sexual assault, torture, and everything else, but
And
just
no
perfection.
consent.
I'm not gonna say this ain't a guide and it can't help you. This ain't it. This ain't all of it.
Right.
It'll tell you. Allegories. Go to the back in Revelations. Go look up what allegories are. See, we don't take the red flags for what they are. We go based on emotion. Because my grandmother did it. Remember, folks, your grandmother was getting bopped upside the head to just even sleep in the woods, to not get raped, to have a piece of pig that y'all go out and cook and add all kind of stuff to now and say it tastes good. Your grandma was getting raped and all that, so that's why she believed in that. Y'all ain't even getting openly raped no more, and that's what y'all believe in. Y'all still soul tied to it. Is there things in there? Yeah, you could believe. Yeah, of course. Just like any other book I could give you.
I mean, and they use the acronym, and I've seen the acronym, and at one point, had, I mean, not to say that I don't have value in it now, but that the letters stand for the basic instructions before leaving Earth. But do we truly ever leave Earth? And, and if in fact we don't leave
Oh,
Earth,
this
why?
place? You mean where we at right now?
Where we at right now?
Go listen to Tina Marie
Soul
Deja
ties,
Vu.
but the
Go.
soul ties. So if we go back to soul ties, and that's the basic instructions before leaving Earth, then why is it that, and I'm probably taking a real risk right now. However, why is it that we're so fearful of the virus taking our life if that is the guide in which we follow as the script, and understanding what relationships in which we use in our relationships? If we are here to serve a certain script of time, and how it is that we subscribe, what it is that our purpose is, and what our duty is, and our assignments are for a purpose and journey, and who we're supposed to be connected to, and for what time frame, why are we afraid for that time to expire?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't rub nobody the wrong way. That's what I just
Okay, I
asked. If you
apologize.
was a Jesus believer, if you believed in it,
I
I,
believe in the universe, and I believe that the universe assigns us to do certain things. I believe that there is discernment that people should follow, but I also believe that the universe and the creator does not properly prepare and educate with respect to addiction, to the trauma that it creates, to the disrespect of how it educates and puts people in places to edify you around how to respectfully deal with when you are sexually violated, when you are spiritually violated, when you are not given the educational tools on how to navigate these systems when consent is taken from you, when they teach you in that basic book that consent is not given to certain populations or certain people in there on a day-to-day basis.
I mean, you 100%. Like we could, yeah. So
She said we opening up more soul ties.
so back in the day when you were given this book, and excuse my language, it was called fuck. It was called fornicating under the consent of the king. That's what you're doing. And people were told who you could not and who you could F.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a slave. Like, let's take the story from Hagar. She was from Egypt, right?
The land of the black.
Young,
Mm-hmm.
taken, then shipped out to another land. But she was young, a kid,
16,
slave, being
16,
being raped and sexually assaulted. But
16.
I just heard the reason why we're having this conversation is because of the video that was sent to me. And they were trying to condone or find ways to attach soul ties and religion, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when they gave the story of Hagar, they just jumped right over it because they've already accepted it. They've already normalized.
Mm-hmm.
They've already normalized that behavior. I mean, listen, we could say that, Swan. You could say Ethiopians. You could say whatever we want to say. These are the books that people are reading because they don't have access to original text. They're not going to get original text. They're not going to do real homework. They're not going to do real research. Most people can't even turn to the page if a pastor said turn to this page. You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
the
So, I'm sorry.
no, I just think that the conversation is that we probably really should have, and thinking about the labeling and how society has programmed us to follow all of these labeling, is that we should stop the separation of ethnicity by design of zip codes, because what we discussed in the family preservation group that we started last week was that yes, the same social construct challenges happen globally, no matter if you are in Africa, the UK, the United States, Georgia, like wherever you are, that we're all interconnected cousins, aunties, uncles, whatever. Just because our zip codes are different, the conversations are still globally the same because we're all interconnected. How it is that we choose to worship, fellowship, break bread, or whatever, the themes is what it is that we need to figure out the prescription, the resolution, to break how it is the map of dealing with um trauma, soul ties, sexual abuse, whatever the situation is, having kings and queens building villages and communities and things that are building our communities with wealth so that we can be stronger as one. Not, oh well, this community is over here building their chocolate crowns, only they're doing it over here, but they don't like this community because their skin tone looks like that. No, diminish all of that. We are all kings and queens.
But I would have to respectfully disagree with you. Everybody's not a king and queen. Some of these people are meant to be followers. That's the problem. Everybody has a platform.
Right.
There's too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
True.
There's too many people who got something to say and should be shutting up. And most of the time, it's people that they give us in this system. Everybody throughout the last few comments have said it. This person owns this. This person owns that. Like, so we don't control none of that. We don't
We don't.
control none of We don't control none of that. But everybody is not a king and queen. Some people are bottom feeders, and it ain't got nothing to do with what you have.
So, okay, clearly respect that.
Right.
Understand that. But the leaders need to stand at the round table and identify what the roles of the community that's needed, because we need everybody. But clearly identifying what the responsibility of every single person is, and give them their respective roles in a sense that there is no need for sacrifice, no need for policing, no need for any of the survival narratives that we currently exist with, so that way we can live in the absence of needing to attack another person or feel like one person is getting more one up. You know your lane, you stand in your lane. If you working to elevate, from the level in which you live and you work from, then great. We're going to give you those tools that you can elevate so that maybe you can build and bring your child up. However, know your lane. And it's not saying that you can't elevate, however, elevate in the space in which you have done the journey to do the steps to get there. But everybody, you're right, is not a leader, just like everybody is not an entrepreneur, respectfully so.
Yeah,
But everybody needs a team to link up side by side in the absence of judgment to say, oh, you think you better than us because you went to a PWI and you got all this schooling and stuff. No, I went to the PWI so I can have the skills to write that grant and that proposal and to get this building so that we could do whatever and stop wearing masks because I got the answers. I went to
oh
school
yeah,
to
you
become
did.
prepared so that
Hold
I could
on,
create.
your undergrad was out at HBCU, but your grad was out of what? PWI, wasn't it? You set tripping. We caught you. We caught, boy.
But you know why?
You
Because
black
I
and white.
actually was going to go to another HBCU, and my HBCU sat me down and said, we prepared you to go to a PWI because what will happen to you when you get out in the workforce, if they see that you went to two HBCUs, they will look at you as if you are not able to assimilate to the systems and be able to be successful accordingly. So we have already prepared you to be able to work in their workforce, and you are able to be accepted in their PWIs. Now, did I have to navigate?
Hold on. That's what they told you?
That's what they told me. I was accepted to another.
Hold on.
Prepared you.
This is troubling to hear. This is troubling
Why?
to hear from people who went to HBC. See, Philadelphia is an area that don't matter if you went to some PWI. That don't hurt you. You sound like some people at HBCU said that's not good enough for you. For you to get all the way ahead, you got to add a PWI to your resume. That's what I'm hearing.
That's not what I heard.
I mean, it wasn't meant for me. It was meant for you. So I'm happy you didn't hear that.
I already have the Caucasian name, so I have the Caucasian name. And I had the HBCU degree. I had the Caucasian high school graduating from. So it was like, okay, no, we're building your blueprint so that when you get to the graduating level and whatever it is that your roadmap is going to be in your professional life, that they will see you accordingly. Now, has that come back as far as in racism and all other things? Absolutely. Because people said, oh, we needed to meet who this person is behind this paper. And when I showed up, they told me it wasn't my resume because I didn't fit the costume of who it was they thought it was.
Right. So then, all based on this, okay, this is where we empower each other. What was your response to you don't match the resume?
Thank you for showing your cards right now because this is not the corporation that I would do my best in. Because I don't need this soul tie energy around what my scope of my expertise, because my skills brought me in here. However, you're not ready for what this sister has to lay on your table to build your brand.
But then some people would say that's the one you're supposed to go into to try to blow it up.
I mean, I would have, but I'm not going to fight you from the gate of the interview. That you looking me up and down and seeing if it is you wanted me to come in, but now because I'm a woman of color, you challenging me?
Yeah,
what's
so therefore,
what's your soul tie? You want to be my slave master from the gate? You're not gonna be my slave master.
And this is why we need both energies, black male and female, when we come together. Because as the man, and they know there's men out here who walk into the interview like you and they be judged off of just your skin color. Or I'm 6'2". I get judged off of just walking in. Or you see Del Rico on the screen, you get judged off of that. So if I'm going to give you the same energy you gave me, I'm not in the business. See, and Freedom and Camp is right. I ain't saying she don't have a point. She has a point. Yes, she has a 100. That's why I asked her. There's 50 million ways to skin this cat.
And that's what I've done.
There's 50 million ways. That's why I asked you to lay it out so people could see. Because I would have just did it different and went to the other job after they probably called the police on me. You know what I'm saying? But you smart enough to do it where you get yours off instead. Okay, that's great. That's dope. That's why I asked for it. Because there's certain things at this age I'm not compromising at all. And I don't care what nobody else on the outside says. That doesn't bother me what you say. I could care less.
Right.
And it's been like that. But what I want to do is ask you so that you could give other people who listen a tool or a gym or something that they could possibly take. And we all gonna get judged all the time.
Absolutely. I still get judged even as a business owner, and it don't matter because again, the name is, is clear that it seems as if I am the Catholic, whatever, not Catholic, and I'm not Caucasian. I'm not colonized. I'm not any of that. However, I do come with a lot of content and I can help build your team and do whatever it is that you need to see happen. But if you don't believe in the content in which I'm bringing to the table, then you just not either you choose to not be ready because of my melanated skin, or you just not ready to build your team the way that you need to because you choose to go with someone different. And you may negotiate it differently and say, okay, well, the price tag, this, that, and the third, but it don't matter. You'll pay somebody who don't have my skill set more than what my price tag says. That's your soul tie. That's your trauma that you need to get over because you don't see the value on what it is that's being brought to the table.
Listen, they don't care about that. They'd rather give it to their own and fail than give it to you and blow up. If you're a Detroit Lion, what up, though? If you're a Detroit Lion fan, you know what I'm talking about. They gave this white boy the position for 2 years. They sucked. The brother before them had them heading in the right direction.
Right.
That's what they do. Everybody does that except black people.
Right.
That's why we don't get ahead.
Soul ties.
That's why we don't get ahead, because we soul tied to the wrong stuff instead of yourself and each other. Because I've heard Asian people say, it's not about your money. I don't want your money. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you have stores set up in your neighborhood. I'd rather do business with my own people. But we don't do that. We don't see that. We so tied to silly stuff.
Silly.
To emotions. Yeah. To all emotional stuff. Instead of looking at growth. Silly stuff. Childish stuff. We still
like
playing
right now,
checkers.
everybody's running out to get, this is a soul tie, financial soul tie. Everybody running out to get, what is it, PS5? I'm not up to date. PS5, because it's the holiday season. But when we went to schooling at home with our children, they couldn't get the Chromebook that was needed for their children to go to have what tools they needed. That's the same amount of investment. You can't ensure that your children get the education that they needed, but you're able to spend the same amount on a gaming system. Like, where's your priorities? Where's your investment in your child being prepared?
That's why when you said everybody is a king and a queen, nope. Can't agree with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Can't agree with that, man. Because it's more important that your child has the laptop. You know what I'm saying? Like silly. But when you born and raised in the system, when you're born in a society who doesn't show you, doesn't give you, takes from you, steals from you, ridicules you, then sells it back to you, allows everybody else to come into your community, take from your community, allowed to take your style, your mind, your women, rearrange it, package it something else, sell it back to you. Like, these are just a couple of the things that are happening when we soul tied, and you could call it whatever, when you have a codependence on a system. When you codependent on a system, when you addicted to the system, like all the things that are happening to us, we asking for it now. So we can't say it's just somebody else. If somebody keeps slapping you in your face, if I ask everybody now who's in the comments, somebody walk up to you and slap me in your face, what you going to do? You going to vote, or you going to slap them back? Somebody walk up to your kid right now and slap your kid in the mouth, what you going to do? Because that's what's happening. And we soul tied to it, and we just gonna act like it never happened because we already condoned so much stuff, so much trauma, so much sexual abuse, and it's given to us in books that we hold in high regard. Mm-hmm. That's teaching you the most awful things in society. It's teaching you death. It don't teach you a circle. It teaches you a cross. A cross has endings. It's no circle to it. It's no full completion to it. A cross represents death. That's the reality of it. And we all, some of us got crosses on our neck. I see y'all saying slap me back, slap mine, I'm going to jail. Mama Joe, you lying. You ain't going to jail now in 2020. You old now. You ain't going to jail. In 1994, yeah, you'd have went to jail, Mama Joe. I seen you. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens when we young and we fearless. We don't accept the BS. Mm-hmm. You can't just feed us anything because we had that fight in us.
Right.
But because we get tied to a society that just continues to beat us down, now we old and we ain't. We old and we don't got no fight left. That's what happens when you're young and fearless. That's what it. Look around. Remember when you was 21? You could probably do some amazing stuff. You old and all you do is talk crap now. That's what you do. You talk shiggity. You know what I'm saying? But that's where we need the circle, because all those ideas and everything that you have, we need to be passing it to young people and putting them in position. You the king, you the queen, you the quarterback. Throw these bows, man. Throw these touchdowns to the young people and let them go out there with the fearless mentality. Like the fearless mentality. Yeah, I mean, we voted Joe Biden in office. I mean, I know that's your word, Mom. I know when you stop cussing, I know. But we voted for him. I mean, like folks say. And Los, listen, you speak from a different perspective. Anybody see Joseph Colton out there? He really lived the crime bill. I hope I ain't saying too much. I ain't gonna go too much further. So how you think a brother feels that y'all just voted him in? Y'all just voted for somebody who another brother is telling, this is what happened when he voted. And we listen, we see the red flags. We see the red flags, but we don't pay attention to them. Listen, man, y'all can vote. Y'all voted. Now let's get to work. Let's do some real work, because the work still need to be done. But people think because they voted, it's over and done with.
So are we addicted to being a victim to the process, but not invested in resolving the process resolving the trauma?
We don't want no real change, because real change is probably going to be violent. When they came over here and took it over, it was violent. It wasn't nice. They didn't come ask Native people to vote. It was violent.
But that's all that they have expected us to be, because we respond with our emotions versus anything else. So because we have been emotional, we become distracted to the real answer, which the real answer comes in what they feed us. And they feed us soul ties. They feed us trauma. They feed us addiction. They feed us spirituality. They feed us all of these things. And we believe what they feed us without checking it for ourselves. We believe in what it is. Like, we believe that what they tell us is the truth without fact checking it for ourselves. And if they tell us that we have to be silent, we believe that silent is where the money in the pockets is, versus, no, I want to feel better. I want to do what is going to make this pain not to go away. Somebody has taken something from me, and I need to find a resource on how I can feel validated in the fact of what was taken from me can heal.
I mean, there's two things. You can hurt people in their pocket, or you can physically hurt people. Other than that, this ain't gonna change. This ain't gonna change. They know how much money we bring to the table, and they're gonna keep taking it. We're gonna keep giving it away. We're gonna keep giving it away on stupid stuff. We talking about PlayStation 5s now. 10, 20 years ago it was Nintendos and Sega Genesis. This is the repetitive cycle we own. Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, Xbox, Atari. Like, listen, shout out, cuz, man, because he, like he said, his brother is still in prison because of that crime bill. From a society, got two young brothers is trying to feed themselves and eat in Pittsburgh, being poor.
Okay, so let's just do this. Can I just say this one comment about that? So yes, that bill was done. He was not the only person that signed that bill.
But
people put tithes and offerings into that church house every single week with that Bible book that you put on the screen, and they make sure that that church house is okay, that they put the tithes and offering in that signed that bill. People who they voted in their local houses signed that bill. It's more than just that man that they put into the office to be the president of this country that they call the United States that signed that bill. You can't blame one person for your lived experiences, as well as the accountability for the actions that caused you to have that experience.
Right. So if he wants to step up to the plate, you don't blame the people sitting in the bench. In the stands, you blame the person up at the bat right now. He wants to take a swing. He's the first one that takes the blame for it. Yes, there's other people.
He don't even make all the decisions that people know their legal choices.
We understand that. I understand that 100%. He wants to step up to the plate. He is the first one that we call out and say, you and your buddies, you and the people around you. You and so he's not getting a pass. He needs the shit rolls downhill. He's at the top of it. So it's going to roll downhill from him, because I ain't no fan of these black churches that's posted up in all these neighborhoods doing nothing. I know. We know that they ain't doing nothing. They aren't moving the needle. They taking money from the community and taking it in their pockets. We know that. We understand that. But if you want to put this white man up there, right? You want to put the face of y'all Democratic Party is a white man that y'all voting for, people are going to attack him. He can't, listen, he ain't mad. All black people are more emotional than Joe Biden was. People are frustrated more than Joe Biden, and he is one of the people who helped sign and write the bill. Are people more upset than he is? You know what I'm saying? More emotionally responding than he is, right? We have to get out our emotions and focus in on who's the problem. And we got to start with somebody. And he wants to represent that. He's the first person we coming at. I ain't saying you ain't right. All them people. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has to be accountable. He is a white man who could have done something probably back then. He's a white man who has a chance to do something now. Right? He has a chance. He can speak up, because the last dude, y'all voted for that black man. He ain't speak up. He just let other folks get rights that they weren't born like we were born with skin. People got to choose what they wanted to be, and then were given rights. You know what I'm saying? So the person y'all voted for, that black man, he didn't even respect the skin that you was born in. He respected it, somebody's right to choose more than your right to being born like you are. That's the reality of it. So now it's, if he wants to sign a bill and y'all voted for him, yes, I would pinpoint it on him too. because shit rolls downhill, and you gotta start with the president and collateral damage the rest of it. He said, "Yeah, it said they got you online on Zoom." And still got what you how you send your how you send your how you send your ties in over PayPal?
Cash App, Zelle, and Venmo.
Oh my God, Jesus is taking cash over PayPal? Yes, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. Yeah, I mean, but if we would have did our own homework on him, we wouldn't have voted for me for for him either. We would have been just blew this system up. But obviously, we like the stuff that we could buy, the little trinkets. You could go to. Matter of fact, you can't even go do the stuff that you used to be able to do. So what we going? We going to continue to fight for this system when we going to be on adult punishment?
Listen, people are subscribers to the new version of this system. And I saw somebody saying that they are excited to order from Amazon because it feels like they said Christmas every time a package is delivered to them, because even though they're spending their own money, they get to open a package. That is their connection and socialization.
That is brutal.
That is brutal.
Yo, you was just so hyped. You got my blood flowing. Yo, I'm hyped, man. I'm hyped, man. Like, woo, you got me turned up, man. I hope you didn't mess up I hope you ain't mess up the algorithms.
Listen, I don't know.
Listen.
But it's just like, where do we take the accountability? Because if you throw that book up in the screen, that book does not teach or talk about accountability.
Oh no accountability.
You as an individual, like it doesn't even give you a script on how to be accountable. We at least give you a script or ideas or suggestions, and we tell you to do fact finding, even with the books and resources that we share on what it is that we share in this conversation every Sunday at 8 p.m. when we come to you, because we've done our research, but we still want you to check what it is that we share with you, because you are going to receive what it is that we provide differently, because how you live and how we individually live and how we collectively live in this world together is all individually different. And so you got to fact find whatever information you give, because guess what? Sometimes these videos that you get sent, and I'm so glad that somebody sent us this conversation, and they probably did not expect us to peel this back the way that it does. But to respectfully disagree, or to have a conflict, or however it comes through, listen, is what life is about. Because if you agree with people all the time, life is boring. Because no two people agree the same way.
Yeah, but you know what's funny you saying that is, that's what people in relationships, they'll be like, yeah, we got so much in common. Yep. And I bet you after a little bit in about 4 months, you'd be like, oh man, I had to roll out on him. I'm out of here. Y'all do too much of the same thing, man. It's like looking in the mirror, man. You better be learning from the person you're around, or you're going to start looking differently at them like, I can't learn nothing from you. All we do is watch Love and Hip Hop or Lifetime, or right. Like you not even like. I feel bad for people who. I mean, granted, I go to this book because there's a lot of good stories. There's a lot of magic in here. There's a lot of stuff in here, man.
Right. Magical words, some good stories. But when you really read it, and you like, she was 16. Women couldn't make a decision or have a voice. Wait,
man, listen, anybody. Well, I ain't mad at the women having a voice. I just want y'all to take about 8,000 less words a day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all up to about 25,000. And this is not me. This is scientifically. Y'all up to about 25,000 words. And men about 8,000 a day.
So that's the version of what you just said is the version on how a woman may send a text message that has like all of these different pages, and then
And I
y'all
said,
write back,
okay,
okay.
okay, yeah, yeah, okay, man. All that you just said, that's what I'm saying. Like, the journey is good, but some journey is unnecessary. Like, we could get to the store going straight down this road and making one turn. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to go right to go over the bridge to come past your girlfriend's house to drop something off at your girlfriend's house. We could go right to the store. You know what I'm saying? So just a little less. That's all, ladies. Less is sometimes more, man. You know what I'm saying?
So to
Sometimes you
go to
get
the grocery store and fill up the cart all the way to the stack for a whole month, that's too much. Just go to the grocery store and get
that's a
like
waste.
four
They tell,
items.
hold on, science. I'm a science boy. You're gonna waste 25% of that. So when you
Why?
go,
No, you not.
no, you ain't gonna cook all that food in the next month because tonight you ain't even gonna cook what you purchased. You probably gonna be ordering. It's probably gonna be you probably gonna be ordering. You just spent 400 in a grocery store, and now you about to go spend 75 at Olive Garden or at
We can't go to Olive Garden no more.
why? What's wrong with Olive Garden? Longhorn.
No, because we gotta stay at home with the mask and
You
pick
could
it up outside.
you could pick up.
Yeah, that's not the same.
Yeah, that's because men don't like getting directions and do their get no directions and do their own. Listen, if a man made it this far in life, it's because his directions work. You know what I'm saying? Because in the lady's little fairy tale, since she was a little baby, this is how her fairy tale went. And her husband listened to everything she said. Nah, I'm going.
See, Queen got it right. We be tired after we did the grocery shopping. So it's like after we did all that shopping, no, we not cooking that day, but we gonna cook the rest of the month.
25%. So like going out in the parking lot and just throw 25% of the food in the
That's
trash
not
because
true. You
it's
gotta
gonna
learn how
go
to shop
it's
better.
gonna it's gonna go bad. This is where we no. Let's do science now. Let's go do some studying. All y'all go in y'all refrigerator right now and go tell me the food that's in there from 3 weeks ago. It's no good.
First of all, you
Cause
might
it
have to go
flexes
back for
those.
produce stuff. But like if you shop and you break stuff down per meal,
Right.
then per meal you only pulling out the freezer what you need for that per meal. And the rest of the stuff you are being prepared for what it is that you need for that particular meal, and that's all you need.
Listen,
But
this
you
is
don't have to
why
keep going back in and out of the store. Like that's wasting time. You trying to
I'm
be
not,
productive with how you use time.
I'm not trying to change y'all. Why y'all trying to change me to go fill up this cart one time? No, I'll be back in 2 days, man. I'll be back in 2 days for
What?
15 minutes. For 15 minutes, and then I'm gone again, man. Let me get my joint for today and tomorrow, and I'm out of there. Y'all can have all that when it's sitting in the store with all these old old ladies and all that in these lines. Nope, not me. I'm self checkout and I'm out of here.
Yeah, no.
Hold on, how you gonna say your joint empty but you agreeing with Mary about filling this thing up? Nope, nope, nope. I only got 2 days worth of food in my freezer, man. That's so you can't get mine,
I got
man.
the whole month. I got breakfast, dinner broken down. I got the whole month of meals planned out.
Yeah, listen, man. But
I
that's
might have
women.
to go for like some vegetables, like fresh veggies, because that, you need fresh. But other than that, no, I'm not going to the grocery store like every other day. Like that,
Well,
that's a
listen.
soul tie. That's a soul tie. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, however you want to put it. I'll be so tied to the grocery store then, man. You know what I'm saying?
And then people can't be throwing people in. That's too much.
But everybody's scared, so don't nobody come like they used to, man. So I'm in there. I'm in there by myself. And
I don't, I don't know nothing about it.
my
I go early and I go once every 3 to 4 weeks.
we listen, I ain't scared of corona. My immune system is good. And if I die, just know
Mine,
they lied. They lied to y'all if Flesh died from COVID. My bad, 19. Let me
no.
pain. If it black out, it's my bad. It's my bad. So if they lied, man. But I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I am 29 minutes over what I was supposed to talk. But this was a
He's
dope
only
conversation.
15 minutes over what he was supposed to talk.
um,
See, Ronnie said she only got 50. She got enough for an army. I'm not going to the store. I'm with you. Good night,
listen,
Queen Lean. Thank you. Stay safe.
appreciate y'all. We're
Is
probably
there any
gonna double
Black-owned
up.
businesses out there that have joined that we need to give a shout out?
Oh, one
Please
more
drop
time.
your information in the thing. Thank you,
Always,
Matt.
hold on. Always living my everlasting reality. Armor. That producer on IG. That producer on IG. IG. That producer. Um, it's a 101. The young brother's very talented. So if you check out IG, I'll have some more. I have some more.
If you got put it in the comments, I'll put it right on the screen.
I have some more info for you next week. If anybody out there got their own business and want to post it, please do, because we will be sharing and we do support. Maybe we can link up, and if you got an apparel company or you got something you want us to show to folks, as we are getting more and more views, which is dope.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Camp, man, the young brother is very talented, man. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right,
So
Swanee, wait. I got Swanee. Swanee, I got you. Wait a minute. I think, wait, is Swanee Height Apparel? Is that the
no, that's
same?
my boy Eric, but you can put that up there. That's Ewok Height Apparel. It's on this Swanee. It's
I
on
don't have
the.
Swanee's in the save thing.
You'll hear you. He bust it up there real quick.
All right, let's it up there, Swanee.
It's on.com, I think is what it is. But go check it out, man. We need to support each other in every way, man. You support with that little $20, man. Send it to a brother who, doing good things with it. So we need to just continue to support each other. We'll probably run this back again next week. Kind of like the energy of this show.
Yeah, because there's a lot that
Mary
we
was hype.
actually talked about that we didn't talk
Mary was hype. She was hype. She was hype. That's dope, man. Listen, every Sunday, 8 p.m., check us out. Chocolate Crown Relationship Flows. We just here a vessel to chit chat, have some fun. Hopefully you learn something. Because I definitely learn something every time we have a show. So kings and queens, be safe. Always, like we always say, get your turmeric, ginger, garlic, elderberry, dandelion root, osha root. Man, get it all up in you. Yeah, get it all into you.
And stuff.
Yeah. Gotta add stuff to it. You get your sea moss, get your black seed oil, get your black bitters. And I appreciate you, kings and queens. Peace,
Yeah.
peace.
Peace. Thank you guys so much. Every Sunday, if it's any topic. Wait, what's Swanee? What you need? One more?
What do you say?
I don't know. He said he need one more or something.
We need more of that, Mary. About being hype. I think.
Oh, that's funny. Thanks for rocking it out with us, guys. We will catch you all next week. If you have a topic that you want us to hit on, send us a message. Be safe, stay safe.
Peace.